Hello my beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova, and I'm so happy to see you today. I hope you are doing awesome, and I hope you and your loved ones are taking care the best that you can. Hopefully you guys are having a beautiful day. Hopefully you're getting up to something fun. Hopefully you've taken some time for yourself just to relax, to take a few deep breaths, just to do something that is going to bring you a little bit of joy. Something that is just for you, not for anybody else, not for a commission, not for a gift. This is just crochet related, but not, anything related. That is, do something for you, okay? That's what I'm saying. Whether it's crochet or it's something else, do something for you. I hope that you had a good weekend. Hopefully, if you wanted to hit up the Joann sales before they closed, you were able to. If you didn't see it, I did a haul video of my last visit to Joann's. There was no yarn though, but I did get some absolutely bonkers deals. So if you didn't see that, I would definitely go watch it if I were you. Okay, so today's video is actually going to be a questions tag. It is 10 questions about me and my crochet journey. So I was tagged in this by Critters Crochet, who is Teresa. I will link her in the description box. I actually was watching her video and didn't even realize she tagged me in it. And I was like, oh, and then I was like, when I realized I was tagged in it, I was like, oh, cool. Okay. The funny thing is, let me get a drink of water. The funny thing is, I had been planning on doing a Q&A soon. Because I've been getting some questions lately, and I was like, you know what, it's probably been like at least a year, if not more than that, I feel like, since I've done a Q&A, like a legit Q&A. So I'm going to also go ahead and take this time to say, if you would like me to do a Q&A, pop your comments in the description box down below. Let me know what questions you have that you would like me to answer in a Q&A. And feel free to ask whatever you want. If it's something that's a little too personal, not YouTube friendly, then I'll just not answer the question. So don't feel, like you can't ask. Like I said, I'll just use my best judgment about what I answer. But for the most part, I'm just an open book anyways, and I think it's super fun to do Q&As. So I'm pretty much going to answer anything you ask. This Q&A, or this tag, it's we used to call them yarn tags. I just haven't done one in so long. Crochet tag, I guess. This one is from the channel TFW Crochet, the Faded Wildflower Crochet. That is the person who made up the yarn tag, or the crochet tag, or whatever. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I am just going to be balling up yarn. I am currently going through my velvet yarn box, which is what this is. What this gray colored box, this thing. I was trying to line up my pointing when it's behind me a little bit. I'm currently going through my velvet yarns and balling them up because they are a hot mess in there. They've honestly always been a hot mess. I got a good amount of these from a yarn bundle deal that I got on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, 2 years ago. And I've just never went through and caked them up, because caking up velvet yarn, they're big balls and stuff. So I just never got around to it. So that's what I am working on. I just got out of the shower, so my hair is partially dry. It's actually looking most of the way dry now, but I've got velvet yarn cakes. This one's a fluffier one. We've got a skinnier type. Look at this beautiful color. Might have to make some velvet yarn projects soon. I need to pile these back up. I even moved my ball winder over a little bit so you could see it, because I actually had it over further, and I couldn't angle my camera that far. But now I'm doing this really gorgeous blue color, and this one has been in a very, very tightly balled up ball. It was literally a little rock. So I'm very happy to be freeing it from that prison. I'm not the one who balled it up. That's just how it came. And the whole time I was like, why is this like as hard as a rock? Like, did they like strangle it to death while they were winding or rolling it? But anyway. Okay, so question 1 is, how did you learn to crochet? I taught myself how to crochet, and actually, if you have been around for quite a while, or if you have watched my crochet vlogs playlist that I link at the end of my videos, there's like a tutorial playlist and a vlogs playlist. I have a lot of playlists, by the way, that you can see if you go to my channel, more specific videos where they're not just like all of my tutorials or all of my vlogs. I do try to make playlists for things that I think people are going to want to find easily. Anyway, if you have ever watched it, you will see that I actually started making YouTube videos not too far into my crochet journey. I learned to crochet in 2021, and I taught myself on a long car ride from Michigan to Texas. I got like a little learn to crochet kit from the grocery store. It was just a little boy learn to crochet kit. Came with some aluminum hooks and a little booklet. Per usual, those little booklets do not do anything. I basically just was like, well, not gonna learn anything from that without having prior knowledge. I'm not good at just looking at like a little instruction booklet and learning how to do something like that I've never done before. And I've actually tried to learn to knit many times in the past. I've always been obsessed with fiber arts. I always knew I wanted to learn to create things with fiber arts. But I tried to do knitting, and I didn't actually know what crochet was. I'd never heard of crochet. So I didn't even think about trying crochet because I didn't know what it was. But what happened was, after many failed attempts at teaching myself to knit, usually using some kind of a learn to knit book or booklet, never YouTube. I don't know why. And like a few times when I did that, I did do like, I accomplished like a few rows of knitting, but like it just took me forever. It was wonky. Like, you know, multiple days of efforts would result in like a couple rows, and then I would stop doing it and completely forget anything that I had learned. And it didn't click to me. Like it wasn't working for me. Well, then I had seen a thing, I don't know where, somewhere online, where people were talking about, well, what do you find easier, knitting or crochet? And I had seen some people saying that they actually found crochet to be easier and like more like easy to start doing. And like they were talking about plushies and whatnot. And my favorite thing, am I making this worse? I'm trying to undo a knot. My favorite thing is plushies. I absolutely love plushies, aka amigurumi. I have collected plushies like my entire adult life. Specifically at the time, I collected Pokemon plushies. For years and years, I collected Pokemon plushies. And actually, just a little bit of lore about me from, you know, kind of expanding out of the question a little bit. But I like really collected Pokemon stuff. I was actually just talking about this the other day in the comments on my friend Missy's video about the Pikachu that she made over at Missy's Yarniverse and More. I'll tag her in the description box as well. I'm gonna tag everybody I mention in the description box. You should check all of them out. They're awesome people. But I had literally like hundreds and hundreds of Pokemon plushies. Like, honestly, probably more like 1,000. I had a huge Pokemon collection. If you guys are interested in it, let me know, and I will dig out pictures and show you guys what my Pokemon collection looked like. I have since gotten out of collecting it to that degree. I still do collect some Pokemon stuff, but I scaled back a lot because my new passion hobby that takes up all my space is crocheting and yarn and stuff like that. We live in a small, you know, 1-bedroom apartment. We've always lived in a small 1-bedroom apartment. And so space is limited. I also just like, when you're a hobbyist like I am, I love to collect things. I love to craft things. I love to collect just, I have too many things that I love. I just love collecting things. And when you are into things, collecting things and hobby things, you have to police yourself with the amount of space that you have, and not just like hoarding stuff. So I go through and I kind of get rid of things, donate them, sell them. Every probably every few years I go through and I try to like purge a little bit. I am also a very sentimental person, so a lot of times what I end up keeping from my collections is things that have sentimental value. So even if I say I collect bears, I talked about this not that long ago, that I had went through and kind of purged my bears probably about a year ago. But the bears that I keep, they're either like my favorite kind of bears, which are the jointed boy bears, boyd bears, or they're sentimental value bears. Anyways, got off on so many tangents there. But yeah, so I learned to crochet by teaching myself to crochet on YouTube. What I did was I looked up granny square tutorials. I didn't want to learn by just like, okay, this is how you do a chain. This is how you do a single crochet. I wanted to feel like I was making something. That is like a huge motivator for me. I feel so much more into it, so much more motivated when I feel like I finished something, like I'm actually creating something. And making a granny square was perfect because it's small. It teaches a lot of basics that you need to learn. And at the end of it, you get a finished project. Did my first granny square come out great? It came out absolutely terrible, but I was so proud because it was pretty much square shaped. And I did make a video about that before. It was a National Granny Square video, National Granny Square Day video, and I talked all about my first granny squares. But yeah, that was how I learned to crochet. So back in 2021. Question number 2, what is your favorite thing to crochet? Well, I think I just kind of answered that. My favorite thing to crochet is amigurumi, for sure. Plushies, I just absolutely love plushies. And I love making them. I love finishing them and like having created a character, like just creating little characters, little personalities, being someone that is like such a geek. I have a lot of interests and fandoms that I love, and being able to make things for the fandoms that I love brings me so much joy. Being able to make things for other people for the things that they love brings me so much joy. So like, you know, my nephew, for example, is loving Spider-Man. So for Christmas, I made him a Spider-Man. At one point when he was like a baby, he loved cocoa melon. So I actually made him several cocoa melons. I make the kids stuff for Easter, you know, bunnies and eggs and lambs and things like that. Plushies are just so stinking cute. And then you can also do like your favorite video game characters, your favorite, just different things that you have different characters that you like. You can always crochet them, at least a version of them. And I find that so fun. And I just love plushies, so. Number 3, if you could only use one yarn for the rest of your life, what would it be? I think I would have to go with just a worsted weight for acrylic yarn, because you can make anything out of a worsted weight for acrylic yarn. You can make things that are meant to be smaller, make them a little bit bigger. If you need to make things that are bigger, you can either make them, you know, using more stitches or whatever, or double strand. I love velvet yarn or chenille yarn, blanket yarn, those kinds of yarns, but they're not like what you want for every single project. And like to get like to get some of the more finer details, I feel like you need regular acrylic yarn when you're making things. So I think if I had to use one yarn for the rest of my life, one yarn for the rest of your life, what would it be? I think I would use just like a worsted weight acrylic yarn. Number 4, what is the weirdest thing you've ever made? Okay, so this actually came up. You guys know I just went to Joann's. And in that video, I was telling you guys how I asked them when they ran out of yarn. And the girl said, well, actually, we had like 50 skeins of, and to quote her, she said, the ugliest brown. And I was saying, like, and she said somebody came in and bought all of them right away. And I was like, man, at these prices, I don't blame them. And my hubby was like, oh, yeah, you would have done the same thing. And I was like, oh, I absolutely would have. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm sure you could find something to make with them. I was like, yeah, I'll make a bunch of poops, because she was saying it was like the ugliest brown. I was like, yeah, I'll make a bunch of poops. And I was like, ironically, they would sell. And she's like, oh yeah, like, you know, people are obsessed with like the poop emoji. And I know they are. I've seen so many crocheted poop emojis. And my hubby goes, yeah, you would definitely do that. And I was like, I know it's weird, but they would sell and stuff and everything. And he was like, well, you've crocheted penises. He said that right in front of the cashier too, and I was like, I just laughed. I didn't even explain. But if you've been around for a little bit, you probably remember about this time last year, I was double dog dared to create a penis gnome crochet pattern. So I have a tutorial and a pattern. This little piece of yarn that was not attached in the ball for some reason. It was like separate. It has its own tiny little ball. It's okay. I've got other skeins that are like this big, but that's funny. Anyway, so I have a pattern and a tutorial for a penis gnome. And basically it has a hat that if you take the hat off of it, it turns into a penis and balls. And if you leave the hat on it, it is a gnome. So it's a little transformer. So that's probably the weirdest thing I've made, or at least I think it's probably the weirdest thing. It's the funniest thing. Number 5, what is something you'll never crochet? Huh. I feel like I wouldn't pigeonhole myself into saying I would never crochet something. Like, I feel like there is always a time that like some certain thing would be crocheted. Let's random blind box reach in and grab the next yarn to cake up. I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is sparkly. This is, I'm pretty sure, Big Twist cuddle yarn. Oh yeah, one of the yarns I caked up that I showed you, this one is Big Twist Sparkle Velour, and I was like getting emotional because I was like, Big Twist, I don't know if they're gonna make you anymore. Like, I know Hirschner's got Big Twist rights, but like, I don't know what yarns they're gonna make, if they're just gonna do like the value acrylic, because that's the only one I think I saw in the picture with their like little announcement. But yeah, I don't think I would really pigeonhole myself into saying I would never crochet something. There is a time and place for everything, and like, you never know. Like, I don't think there's anything that I would be so like dead set on never crocheting. Number 6, where do you get your inspiration? Oh my gosh, everywhere. Actually, I want to see, is this a center pool or an outside pool? I just started working with what was wrapped around it, but I think this yarn, I struggled to find the center pool. So yeah, I think it's going to be an outside pool, unfortunately. I get my inspiration from literally everything. My own brain, for one. I have a very chaotic and weird brain. My fandoms, like, you know, my animes and video games and books, like book series. I don't know, man. Everywhere. My pets. Outside. Fantasy, fairy tales. I love fantasy stuff in general. Yeah, I get my inspiration everywhere. And I like to make things free-handed or modified to like meet interests, you know, like adding things to them or modifying them, like if they're patterns. Number 7, favorite thing you've made so far this year. Oh my gosh, what have I made this year? Oh, time is a construct. I like really struggle with remembering when things happen. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I've made this year. Give me a second. Let me go scroll through my YouTube page. Let me scroll through my own YouTube page and see if I can see from the thumbnails, if I can be reminded. Okay, I made like the little gnome. I made the sleeveless gloves. I actually ended up turning the sleeveless gloves into like little sleeve things. I ended up not making, because the sleeveless or fingerless gloves. Did I say sleeveless gloves? The fingerless gloves don't have fingers. They only have a thumb hole and then they go up higher. It's going to be so hot. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do like a little Like it starts like right here, goes to like right here, and it doesn't have a thumb hole or anything, and it's just like a little sleeve. I made the hat. Those are both for my Stray Kids concert. I made the little troll dolls. Those were so cute. I made the Wolf-chan head, and then I made like a bunch of little heads that work up quicker to like give away at the concert. I made Bakari, which is the chick plushie. These are all things I've made like in the last month. I made the lamb, the Arlecchino doll that I made for my hubby. I made like a bunch of Easter stuff. I think I have to go with the Arlecchino doll I made for my hubby just because of the amount of work that went into it and like the complexity. That was like an advanced pattern, and I'm proud of myself for that one. I think it came out really cool. It's a very cool plush. And then like runner up, I think the lamb, just because I only followed the pattern for like part of the head, and then I just did what I wanted with it, and I love how it came out. I think it came out so cute. And even though I followed the pattern for part of the head, I like completely did not do what they said to do. Like I used completely different yarns and stuff, so like it almost felt like I just made it all up. But like, you know, credit where credit is due. I did use a Hobie pattern for part of the head, but I think it came out really cute. And I did like one blue eye and one sparkly, or they're both sparkly, one blue eye and one green eye, and it was like very colorful and stuff. I don't know, I think it was cute. But I think I gotta go with the Arlecchino just because I'm really proud of it. So I think that makes it my favorite thing, is just like that I'm proud of it, that I think it was like a very technically challenging pattern. So I was proud of, you know, making it. Number 8, crochet plans you're excited about for the future. Oh man, everything. Everything that I will make. I'm working on my, hippy dippy poncho, and that I am actually trying to make a more like a good production value kind of video for. I'm putting a lot of effort into it, so I'm probably not going to do any more updates on that until I finish it, so I'm trying to finish it quickly. But I already filmed like parts for it and stuff. Like I said, I want to do like a video, like a start to finish kind of style video. A lot of times I do like, you know, I'll update on different projects as I go, since I post like a daily vlog kind of video. But I want to do like a start to finish, like comprehensive like process kind of video, and like really put a lot of effort into the editing and stuff. So I'm like very excited about that. But I have a lot of things I'm excited about. I've got Decade Divas that I'm going to be participating in September. Next month, well, no, not next month yet, but in July, I'm going to be participating in Battle of the Stitches. If you guys haven't heard of these things, I will link the channels that are related to them in the description box. But that's going to be Critters Crochet Teresa for Decade Divas and Battle of the Stitches, Heather at Strings and Thread for Battle of the Stitches, and the Spoonie Stitcher for Decade Divas, and Dee at Dee's Creative Hands for the Hippy Dippy Poncho. So I'm participating in a lot of collabs right now, because I had like not participated in any in like months and months, because you guys know your girl had a mental health slump, a very bad mental health slump, and now that I have wrenched myself from that hole, I am like diving back in full force now with my crochet community and crochet projects. So I'm really excited. I'm trying to kind of really immerse myself in everything and make up for lost time, I guess, so to speak. Really working on my channel. The worst thing about crochet: sewing things together, weaving in all the tails. And number 10, favorite thing about crochet. I think there are two ways you can look at this. Two favorite aspects of crochet. I think the crochet itself, the colors, the textures, the sensory aspect of it is just so calming and pleasing. Calming, but also stimulating. Like, tell me that this does not make you so excited. like feeling it and seeing the colors and just like looking at it, and like you see possibilities. You look at it and you're like, oh my gosh, I could make this with that, or that with that, or what could I do with that? I want to think about it. I just like to look at the yarn. It makes me happy. It's like decor all in itself. And then like the act of crocheting is so calming and therapeutic, and getting to make something, that feeling when you finish making something is so phenomenal. I just noticed I never turned on my normal ring light, and I'm using my overhead desk light, but oh well, whatever. You guys, you get it. You can see. The other aspect though that I didn't anticipate when I learned to crochet was the community. I didn't know there was a crochet community to the degree that there is. When I started crocheting, I learned via YouTube, and then I think I got recommended a Llama Mama Kayla video, not too long after that. And I started just obsessively watching her videos. I just loved her. I loved her personality. I loved her creativity. She just opened my eyes to like the world of YouTube crochet. She would talk about other channels, and I would check out those channels, and she would talk about her life, you know, like vlog style, and her and Big Daddy and Dakota and Elijah and Phoebe and, you know, everybody in their family. And just like, I fell in love with her channel and her family, but I also fell in love with the YouTube community, and it like I said, it all just kind of opened up from there. And from there, I met so many amazing people. I met so many amazing people on YouTube. I had no idea that any of this stuff would happen when I started crocheting. And actually, when I first started making my videos, I did them more almost like a journal kind of, because I didn't think anyone would watch them. I was basically kind of making them for myself, like to show myself what I worked on. I could look back on them kind of like a crochet journal, like, oh yeah, those are the things I made that month. I was making them like once a month, and Llama Mama Kayla came over because I was commenting on like all of her videos at the time. And she was like, you know, you should make more YouTube videos. And she was giving me advice, like, because at that time I was filming in vertical instead of horizontal. So, you know, like long screen instead of widescreen. And then she mentioned me on her YouTube channel. We ended up doing a collaboration together. Back then, that was the circular mandala throw. Literally, that project holds such a special place in my heart because it was like such a like life-changing time for me. Like she referred people over to my channel. She was telling me I should make more videos. So I did. And then it all just kind of snowballed. So if I had to say a favorite thing about crochet, I think the actual favorite thing would definitely be the community. Just irreplaceable, so surprising. And something I never anticipated. Like, you can't anticipate that. But that is the 10 questions that I was challenged to participate in. I will tag, I don't know if you're supposed to tag 3 people, but Heather tagged 3 people, so, or not Heather, I read the name Heather. Teresa tagged 3 people, so I will also tag 3 people, but feel free to answer these questions in the comments if you're not a content creator and you just want to, you know, answer them in the comments, if you want to like participate in it. If you are a content creator and I don't tag you, still feel free. Like, oh, this is like open tagging. I am openly tagging anybody watching the video who would like to be tagged, basically. If you'd like to make this, then consider yourself tagged. I am going to tag my Yarny sisters, Sam at Manfa's Makes and Amanda over at Obsessive Crochet Lady. So that gives me 2. And then I think I will tag Litza at Coco's Crochet, and I will tag all of those 3 creators in the comments. They are beautiful, beautiful people. I absolutely love them. I love their YouTube content, and I love them as human beings. There are so many people I could tag, so please, if I didn't tag you, do not feel like I don't care about you and love you, because I do. If you're watching this, just know that I do. But anyways, thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I had a lot of fun answering these questions and winding up some yarn, yarning up some wind. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you guys on a video again real soon. Bye, guys.